piano lesson number 23. Yay. So the last, I haven't really posted up a real actual piano lesson since, I don't know, maybe a month ago. Because we had the piano tuning thing and then I went over to the concert and then I recorded all that stuff and then I was just like, I don't want to do anymore for a little while. Anyway, so I'm back. I got a tripod. Woohoo! So now I can demonstrate stuff without having to complain about only being able to use one hand. Anyway, but today is going to be an important lesson actually. Probably one of the most important ones that you could ever learn. And the thing is, it doesn't have really, it has to do with the piano, but it doesn't. It's all in your brain. Now, some people might think that what I'm going to say, I don't know, they think maybe some people might think it's not useful, but from all the experience you've ever had throughout piano, I'd say this will be, this information is probably the most valuable. This is the stuff that I've learned that is probably helps you the very most out of everything else I've ever learned. And a lot of this stuff I didn't understand until maybe 10 years, 12, 13 years into actually playing. Before I started to understand why it was so valuable, and also it came to my attention and stuff like that. Anyway, enough of that random babbling. So this lesson today is on the mind. Okay, so basically, the biggest problem with beginners, or people that don't learn to actually play the piano well, is they don't learn to relax their mind. They think, okay, I'm going to make this as tough, this is tough, so I'm going to make it sound like it's really hard, so people will be impressed by that. But really, if you're trying to impress people by how hard it sounds, chances are they're going to think, okay, this guy's struggling with this, so this is just about right at that end of his skill level, so if he has trouble with this, then he's not that good, type of a thing. But if you make something hard look easy, that will actually make you look better. My cat is chewing out of her dish and it's kind of distracting her. Can you hear the little crunch, crunch, crunch? Maybe you can't, I don't know. Okay, so we want to relax our mind. Now, I'm going to tell you a couple things that help you do this. Now, the very biggest thing you want to do is when you first get onto the piano, say you're performing or something like that, or you just want to have a nice session of practicing, what you want to do is close your eyes, breathe deep, thank God it smells good in here. I love Febreze. Okay, so you're going to breathe deep. Now, you could just picture something that you like, I don't know, something that's beautiful, like a sunset or a mountaintop or grass or, plains of grass or water or beach or mountains or brooks or whatever the heck, whatever you like, basically, whatever puts you at peace. So, think peacefully first. Then, if you're going to be playing a song that's fast, try and get yourself into the mood of that, into the gear of that. But the main thing you want to be doing is over and over and over and over and over, tell yourself in your head, play this easy, play this easy, play it easy, play it easy, toss it off, just do it easily. Think of, how can I make this easier, how can I make this easier, what can I do to make it easier, and you just keep saying this over and over and over and over and over and over. I can't stress that enough. Over again into your brain, over and over. You just keep saying, play it easy, play it easy, play it easy, and eventually what your body will do is, it'll actually start playing things easier and then it'll not be as hard. Okay, so if you don't believe me about this, try taking this challenge. Go to your piano or keyboard or whatever, and I want you to, before you start playing a song that you know, tell yourself, oh man, this is going to be so hard, it's so tough, blah. It's so hard to hit this one chord and do this one passage, it's so difficult, I don't think I can do it, So do that for 5 minutes. Just tell yourself that. Now try and play it. And keep thinking, this is so hard, this is so hard. And then after that, then stop, take a break for maybe 10 minutes, and then go back and then talk about, okay, this is so easy, this is so easy, like anyone could do this, this is so easy, da, 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 da. And just think of how you can relax. Now relax and then just play it through. And while you're playing it, say, this is easy, this is easy, this is easy, this is easy. Over and over and over again. And just keep looking for ways to make things easier for you so that you can do the same thing without actually making it any tougher and making it easier. It's actually quite easy. That's all you have to do, and piano becomes quite easy. Notice how my outlook on piano is, it's easy. That was the very first thing I said when I started teaching these lessons was, yeah, piano's not hard, it's easy. And then people are like, oh really, it's easy? And then people seem to like that because it makes it easier. Versus someone that's like a teacher and like, oh, this is so hard. The C major scale is actually quite complex. It's comprised of tones and semitones and blah, 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 blah. But really all you're doing is just moving your hand across and up some keys, some white keys that are, it's not really that difficult. Now another thing to make things a lot easier in your brain is some people actually, they'll think of every note individually. They'll go, oh, so right now there's like 4 notes going on. So they'll just think for every single note and they'll go, oh no, look at all these notes everywhere. It's like a galaxy of stars and I'm looking at each one and thinking, trying to separate my mind. Now also another thing is, if hold on. Okay, and I'm back. The phone decided to ring, so I had to shut it off and take the message or whatever. Okay, so now, another thing that people do that really screws them up is, say you're trying to play some big chords like now you could think of it like chord, chord. Or you could use, now this is called combining actions together. Now, how could I use my arm to get this key and this key? Is it possible, or do I have to actually go up and down? Well, you can actually combine this motion. You can think of holding the chord down, and then as you come up, you can push up on the keys. So it's just like you're going chord, chord with one motion. So by going like this, you're actually hitting 2 chords. And then you're just going. So that's another motion. Over, like that. I'm coming into the chord and pushing over, and then I'm getting my next chord. So stuff like that. You can actually, if you watch any great players like Vladimir Horowitz and all those other, like Rubinstein or Victor Borge and stuff like that, watch their fingers, and they will, when they're doing difficult things that most people would find hard, their hands don't look like they're moving a lot, do they? Their hands are just kind of in the same spot, and their fingers are just kind of going crazily over the keys. Now this is because they're combining multiple actions into one action. So as they're doing one swipe of something, they're actually getting 2 or 3, maybe 4 things done at one time. Now that's what will make you a lot better of a player, because it takes out the difficultness of trying to hit all those keys. So whenever you find a difficult spot, or you just want to keep making things easier, think of how you can combine motions of notes together to create one motion doing multiple things. Now another thing you can think of is that the keys are separate from your arms. The way your arms move actually determines the notes. But I think I'll probably get that into another lesson, because that's kind of way out there and I still haven't really figured that out yet. I'm just on sort of getting a grasp of how that would actually work. I haven't really figured out how to explain it properly in an easy, simple way without being too complex. Okay, so now another thing is people with your brain, there are 100 million, or 100 trillion, there's 100 trillion synapses in your brain when you're first born, according to Where did I find that? I was reading some brain thing on the internet, how people learn in early stages of life and stuff like that. Well, not how, but why it's important to learn at early stages of life. Now, if you have kids or something, think of it like this. When you're first born, you have 100 trillion synapses in your brain, but by the time you reach middle age, you only have 500 million left. That's not a very good casualty rate, is it? You went from having 100 or something to less than, like, how many percent would that be? Like, if you have 100 trillion and you don't even have 1 trillion, you don't even have 100 billion, you don't even have, yeah, you have 500 million. That's very, very, very small compared to what you have when you're first born. Now, apparently, where do all those synapses go? Well, apparently when you don't use one of them, and it doesn't become activated by a certain use, or you're not using it, it just dies. So basically, as you do not use your brain, and you don't learn new things, or challenge yourself, and memorize, and blah blah blah, and try going through all these different things, and keep expanding your brain all the time, it's just going to shrink and shrink and shrink and die, and then whatever you use will stay active. As you stay active in that area, it'll stay alive, but all the rest that it could have been is not being used. So that's one of the benefits to learning young. So learning young, you can expand your brain and you'll have a bigger portion of your brain active than you would have if you had like no activity when you were young. Now, I'm going to point out that I'm not a brain specialist, I'm not a doctor, I haven't taken any medical courses, and I don't actually know what I'm talking about so much to say that with certainty. I'm only pretty much going by what I've read in other things. I don't actually know this for fact, but that's just what was given to me in the article that I was reading, which I thought was quite interesting actually. And I can't remember where it was. I was somewhere on the internet at like 2 in the morning when I do random researches at night. I'm just like, hey, I want to know about how jet engines work. Whoa, cool! I'm going to just start reading about it. And then it's like 3 a.m. and I'm like, oh, I should probably go to bed. But yeah, that's just the way I am. I like to learn things about any random thing, especially if it helps me with piano and stuff like that. So that's another thing to keep in mind, that even like if we want to keep our brains functioning even when we get older and older and older and older, the younger you are, the better it will affect you later, because it will actually keep your brain in tune. Just like when you get older, your brain starts to deteriorate and deteriorate and deteriorate, and then like I used to play in places where they had dementia and stuff like that, and the people there, they had quite bad brain dysfunctions, and that, I think, from what I was reading, again I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, apparently as you don't use your brain or use your memory and stuff like that, it deteriorates, and that's when the brain starts to lose its functions. Of course it also has to do with like the nutrition you eat and all that other stuff, but brain activity is a big thing. So think of it like by learning music, actually you could, like doing all these new things with music, you can help your brain stay like fit and active for later on in life. Or you could just go completely crazy like some other pianists have gone. Notice how musicians are always very eccentric and crazy. It's kind of funny. Probably because they spend so much alone time. Look at me, I'm talking to a camera. Okay, anyway. So the main point I wanted to get out of this was, one, you need to relax your brain. You need to just let things go. And the other thing is, the other point is, play it easy. Don't play it hard, play it easy, okay? It'll be so much easier for you. So, and then you combine motions together, and that's the main things I wanted to talk about in this lesson. Piano is basically a mind game, actually. If you want to play well, you need to play easy. You need to limit the amount of motions that you're going to do. Like if you're trying to go from this E flat here to this E flat here, it's much easier if you do it in one motion. Kind of like if you were drawing a rainbow. It's just you're holding it down, and then in one motion you aim for this key, and you just let your arm go and then fall down. That's one motion. And I don't care if I miss the note, I just keep going. Now, it's a lot easier than going push up, lift up, one motion, next motion over, next motion, find the note, and go down. That's not very comfortable, but this yeah. So then with that one motion, it just becomes smooth, easy, it is easy on your muscles and stuff like that. Boom. Yeah, so but the only way you can do that is if you first think of it in your brain. And you've got to think of play it easy, play it easy, play it easy. And then by saying that over and over again, it seems like your subconscious like starts to like draw things out to make it easier for you. By telling yourself, just kind of like when you're like, I want to wake up at 8:32 a.m. I want to wake up at 8:32 a.m. And you just keep saying that to yourself over and over and over again, and then randomly you're sleeping, and then you're just like, look at the clock, it's 8:32 a.m. You're like, whoa, pretty sweet, how did my brain know that? So I don't really know much, I can't say I know a lot about the brain or anything, but I do know that if you tell your brain stuff, usually it's gonna, if you keep telling it the same thing over and over again, then that will somewhat become how things will be. Like your brain can only really control over your body, so you can't control like circumstances out of your control. But like I know it works for the piano. Like if you tell me, if I tell myself over and over again to play it easy, the stuff gets easy. Anyway, next lesson I'm going to be talking about keyboards and pianos and like what ones to buy and stuff like that, because I've been getting a lot of questions of, oh, what's a good keyboard to buy, blah 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 blah, what are the pros and cons and stuff like that. So that'll be the next one. And then also another one that I'm going to be doing that I've sort of planned is it's going to be on like how to find chords on the piano quickly, and someone was asking like how to find the key of a song like quickly, how to find what's the fingering for chords generally and stuff like that. So that would probably be maybe lesson 25 or something. Okay, so hopefully this lesson wasn't too boring for you. I know I talked a lot and played nothing, but yeah. Also I'm thinking about later on maybe starting showing, like writing out definitions, and then like showing you all the definitions in music, like what allegro means and andante and stuff like that, and then helping you memorize them. You might have noticed that I haven't really had anything on the whiteboard for a while, and that's because my dad took the whiteboard to his office and I haven't had one since. So that is why I stopped using this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Take care, and you'll be hearing from me again shortly, because I'm going to try and do quite a few of these lessons quickly. I'm having a jaw surgery done on November 14th, so I don't think I'll be able to talk for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So there's going to be a little gap where you just don't hear anything from me, and I'll just be like, ah, and then I'll come back with this crazy jaw, because my teeth don't actually like match up. Right now they're like this. So they're going to pull my bottom jaw forward so that they touch, I guess. Anyway, not like you really care, but okay, take care. See you later.